All right, Dave and Kathy, it is Grant, and we are here at the house. Let me go ahead and show. So here's our exterior, and as you can see, right across the street, you probably recognize that house. Obviously, the golf course is right here. So the street comes down, of course, into our little cul-de-sac, and in the front, first things you kind of notice is you're going to want to have a landscaper come just kind of trim some of this stuff, probably knock down these bushes, maybe even take some of them out. It kind of ruins the front. And maybe you paint the outside. Some of this trim work here is a little dated, and the roof looks to have some life left in it. It's a little bit weathered, but still has good shingles from what I can see. But you'll see a couple spots around here, where you just have like a little bit of caulk that needs to be done. You can see up here in this corner a little bit of wood rot here on the trim. So some of the stuff's a little bit older now. That's just maintenance stuff. And then on the inspection, you almost certainly are going to see the inspector flags from this vegetation that's in contact with the house. Not supposed to be technically. And then the soil's a little bit high right here. So again, landscaper can easily kind of take that stuff out. And you probably have a little bit of water that pools right here. So this little drain here, that may be something that you again have the landscaper just kind of grade this front area here a little bit for you. So the gutters, a little bit dirty here, nothing huge, typical for the age of the house. And then I'll come around and show you the side here in a moment, but let's go in the front door and experience it that way. So front door's in good shape. You've got hooks here for Christmas lights and stuff like that. And then we'll come on in. So this is kind of a nice, good entryway. For your rental purposes, you don't really have to do anything with this, but one day you may update this tile. It looks like this floor in here is in pretty good shape. And then you've got this tight carpeting here, which has some stains. So I would replace this at least with carpeting. Possibly you refloor the whole area, but definitely just do a new carpet in this area. Although this is a dining room, so it'd be nice if you didn't have carpeting. But for renter, you could definitely do that temporarily. The biggest thing to do, like on your expenses, as you kind of update the home over time, is a lot of these fixtures, you can see, they're kind of the old brass or gold style stuff. That's a little dated. And then kind of a small thing, but you could have somebody come change out all of your light fixture, all your outlets and plugs to do like a nice, brilliant white color instead of the old almond. That would look really nice too. But the paint's in great shape, so fortunately you don't have to spend money on paint. Tile floors in here are fine. They're in good shape for a rental. I don't think I would touch it. But again, possibly one day you update it to kind of take the house to the next level. Same thing here in the kitchen. You can see it has this kind of trim stuff around here. I think I probably would leave this alone again as a rental, but longer term, if you're really trying to plus the house up, you probably remove this stuff because it's a little old school feeling, but the house doesn't have to feel old school like that. The refrigerator's in here. This is kind of stained. I don't know if it just needs to be cleaned or not. It looks like it's the coating on the stainless steel that maybe is kind of bubbled up from what I can see, but hopefully that can get cleaned up a little bit. But you've got stainless steel oven and microwave here. And the pantry is really big. Really good size. And you can kind of see what I mean. Again, with just all of these old almond style things, just kind of make it feel older. And same thing, these light fixtures, you may update that stuff at some point. But it's got good storage, has kind of this wine rack here on this island. This is a nice room. This is a nice space. And then it's one of these semi-open deals coming into the living room, which has a higher vaulted style ceiling. Fireplace is a gas log fireplace. And here's, of course, where folks can hang the TV or those kind of things. And that's back to the entryway. So we'll come back here in the backyard in just a moment, but let's go ahead and explore back here. So this floor feels like a vinyl or a laminate flooring. And then you've got a different style floor here, if you see that transition. I personally hate that. It's something we can get away with for renters. They're a little less sensitive to those kind of things, unless you really want to push it to that higher end of the rental estimates like we talked about. So this has a great laundry room. You've got the refrigerator. Washer and dryer will go here, so we'll need to get those. And then again, the light I would update. This is kind of hard to see on this video, but this is really old school and it doesn't give a lot of light in this room, so probably change that one out. Linen closet here, or hall closet for coats. Then we'll come down this hall, and this has been updated. See, it has the shaker style cabinet fronts, and these are solid wood, which is great, so you can update them, paint them, stain them, do those kind of things over time. So this has all been updated here, but you still have, see, some of those gold fixtures and things. You can get away with this stuff still. I wouldn't mess with this type of stuff for now, but again, one day maybe you do. And the toilet, that's nice to have access to service the tub and shower back there. Same thing here in the hall. You've got this old light fixture. I'll stop talking about them because the video's just gonna be me talking about light fixtures. This is a really huge hall closet. I've never seen one quite this big. And this is nice, you can see this flooring. Got a little bit extra here. And it is a luxury vinyl plank. So you can kind of actually see the exact kind. And if you wanted to take this and just carry it into the rest of the house, you probably could source that. All right. Another closet. Then back over here, we've got a really large bedroom. This one's big. This is pretty good size. You could fit a queen bed, even a king in here if you really had to. And then this one has another big closet, big walk-in, and it overlooks the back patio. So this is a nice room. So that's bedroom number one. And you see we've got two more back here on this wing. Another huge bedroom. These are really good size, especially for the time period. Another big walk-in closet. All this paint is in great shape, so you don't have to do anything in here. This fan is fine. I wouldn't mess with that. Maybe you change out these, and then I personally don't love how they didn't stain this cord around here, so it looks a little bit off. So maybe have someone stain that if you're doing any kind of handyman work. Okay, this room, you've got the older fan, another good sized room, another big walk-in closet, and this one overlooks a little bit of the backyard here. We'll go outside in a moment so you can see more. These blinds are mini blinds, so just be prepared as you rent this thing out that you're going to be replacing those over time as they get kind of dinged up. Okay, so we've got the 3 bedrooms back here, this big, huge walk-in hall closet, and then we've got the bathroom and the laundry, and we have another coat closet, and then again that comes out here into the living room. I just noticed this floor plate is cool for plugging lamps and all that good stuff. So off over here to this side is where we have the office. Now you could, if you guys were going to live here, it would probably make sense to one day, put a French door on this and make this more kind of a private owner suite. It's got these built-in cabinets. I don't think you touch them. Again, as a rental, leave it alone. This one does have an updated fan, which works for the space. So good space. And we have that same carpeting that's in that dining room and a big, nice, wide master bedroom. Same thing, the fan, probably want to update. This has some nice trim work around here and then a nice high vaulted ceiling. So you probably take this floor out because this definitely is below the quality of the house. And then it comes in here to the master bath suite, which I do wish this was updated more, like that other bathroom with a new countertop and some new faucets. It's not, and that's okay. Same thing here. We have this old kind of grid style for the fluorescent lights. Again, I don't think you really have to mess with this stuff right now, but long term, you do have a chance to add some equity to this house by doing some updates to this type of stuff. But it's got a lot of good cabinetry. These are solid wood. Looks like they've been painted. And you have just a couple little scuff marks along here. Rest of this is in okay shape. But you can see the faucets are a little, I don't know, let's kind of see they're a little worn just from use over the years. And like this one's kind of loose. You know, you've got some discoloration in the sink. You may just actually replace this countertop and do something new, more modern, and then replace like these towel racks. And that alone would go a long way in here. So you've got an old jacuzzi tub and a his and hers closets. There's the skylight. And same thing here, if you're doing any kind of lighting change, have them change that one out. It's got a little bit of, you can't see it in the video because of the way the light shows up, but there's some debris inside that light. So just have someone pull it out and put a new LED in there. And we can of course help with that. So then here's the toilet. Nice good size, plenty of space for activities. And the shower, another one of those, this is serviceable for now, but you can kind of see it's kind of dirty and discolored here. I'm sure it's clean, but I would have this cleaned. And if you can't clean it, this is one that you consider. Do you have this retiled, at least the floor, possibly even this. This could be really, really, really nice if it was updated and had like a nice kind of glass front that was a little more modern. It could be really, really cool. And then the tub here, you can kind of see some scuff marks along the edge. Not a big deal. But then the same kind of discoloration as you see losing this plating on the faucets. So, and these nozzles get discolored over time. So that's a negative with that stuff. So really it's just a lot of like plastic that's been discolored is the biggest stuff. A lot of these gold fixtures that you want to change. And then just the sinks that are a little bit worn at this point. That's really all that looks like you really probably want to consider doing it. And then the carpets. And then let's go look outside here. I would also, you've got the same thing on the front door where they have a key for the lock. Before we rent it, you definitely want to change these out. That's a big, big fire hazard. And God forbid something happens to a tenant and you guys are caught up in something, you want to make sure you have some nice, easy, accessible locks for folks to get in and out. Now this back door, I noticed when I opened it up, it's a little rusted. So this one you probably could have, if you're doing the handyman stuff that we've talked about, they probably can sand this down and just paint this for you instead of replacing it. Or it may make sense to replace this door. So just something to consider here. And then also this weather stripping, I've never really quite seen it before. This is kind of like it's almost like an indoor foam. And you can see it's starting to get a little bit of like mildew build up here, a little gross looking down here. So really easy. Just have your handyman replace it with true weather stripping. They've got these screens here on the back, which is nice to knock down the sun in the afternoon. I'm sure the inspector is going to raise some questions about the way this brick on the ground is up so close on the foundation, and that's a fair question. It looks like it does slope away towards the driveway, which is good, but just be prepared. You'll probably see that on the inspection report as an item of concern. But as long as these gutters are working and this is sealed up okay, shouldn't be a big issue. Then there's one of the spots I saw here. I'll show you. So here again is our driveway, nice long driveway. And a little bit of movement. You wouldn't be surprised by that when you've got these big trees nearby shooting roots all over, to see some settling here. But you'll see a little bit of this type of stuff where we have some weathering, and here's on this side, you know, some signs of some rot setting in on this trim. Not too atypical. I think you've got gutters on the front and back, but they're not gutters along the side. That's something that I would consider doing as well, is possibly having someone, and the gutter people can do the same thing, where they can replace this piece of trim. If you're having it painted, they can paint it and they can install gutters in to really move that water away from the side, because you can see how it's kind of started to wear and erode the soil here a little bit. So none of that stuff is a huge deal, but I'm just a sucker for good gutters. And you can see how some of these screens are a little dirty. Same thing, trim back these bushes. That'll help. They're having this part of the fence replaced that fell down, so no worries there. There's neighbors. And this gate is nice. Let's see if we can get in here into the garage. All right, the light is not working, but take my word for it, this is definitely a garage. It's actually a little better than it looks in the darkness, because you've got this wide ledge here, so there's space for like a workbench or those kind of things. There is some, it looks like mud up here, and I'm not sure why, but there's like mud caked on. I'm not sure what the story is here, so it looks like maybe some of this stuff got wet. A little discoloration on some of these beams, and then some mud up here. I don't know what the story is with that. That's one thing that I think we definitely want the inspector to take a look at and just give his opinion on. The garage door looks to be brand new, because I know, Dave, you're big into new garage doors. So this area is fenced as well, which is cool. So this whole little patio here is fenced in. Again, the roof looks to be in pretty good shape. Not too bad. And then the backyard, it definitely looks like a backyard. They've got this section here, which is pretty rotted. I think you just leave this, and then once it's dead, you just pull that out eventually. But this fence is gonna get stood back up, and then I would probably have someone come as well, just to sort of straighten this one up. There is some concrete in here, but it's got some lean to it. Well, that's in there pretty good. I'm trying to shake it here. That's in there pretty solid. It's just a little slanted. Then let's walk around this side. So no gutters back here. Again, I'd probably add some. You can see how it's kind of eroded again and slopes towards the house. And then no gutters on this side. To me, gutters and paint make a ton of sense on the exterior, just to preserve it and keep it in good shape. So that's it. Hopefully you guys like it. There's not a lot of major stuff. It's just, you know, it's a little older, so you're gonna want to paint some of these things. Again, you got some wood rot. There's some stylistic stuff, getting away from some of the gold and some of the cream colors that are in the home. But besides that, the floor plan is great. The location is awesome. I think it's going to do a lot of good work for you. The decision is going to be, do you want to do some stuff to update it now and then fetch a higher rent, or do you want to kind of play it as is and go a little bit lower rent and just have less money out of pocket? And that's going to be your decision. So whatever you want help with, we're happy to help you with.